sold me dreams, but kept the real away. My grandfather's blues running through my veins. Same old city, different kind of chains. I don't need your spotlight, I just need the truth tonight. Smoking mirrors, smoking mirrors. The game was rigged before I learned to speak. Smoking mirrors, smoking mirrors. But I carry fire in the things I see. Guitar crying when my words fall short. This ain't the story that the news report. Blood and sawdust on these factory floors. They call it progress, but it's just old wars. Still standing, still standing. Smoking mirrors. Smoking mirrors. Yeah. Turn the phone off somewhere around Tuesday. Haven't looked back since. Yeah. Turn my phone off, drove nowhere specific. The quiet hitting different, more than mystic. Trees outside the window moving slow. I finally let some things I held let go. They say your brand is everything you are. I say my name existed before Instagram. The version of myself they never screenshot is the one that's actually been through a lot. Drove past the billboard with my face on something fake. Took the back roads home for my own sake. The algorithm never knew my middle name, and I've been building something it can't claim. No signal, no noise, just the real voice. No signal, no games, just my own name. I don't perform for cameras in my kitchen. I don't turn pain to content worth the clicking. Not saying it is wrong for those who need it. I'm saying I just haven't got that in me. Found an old playlist from like 2009. Before the streams, before the metrics and the grind. The music hit the same but different now. It wasn't optimized for anything somehow. There's something in the imperfect take. The breath between the bars, the small mistake. The human thing, the algorithm skip. That's what I chase inside every trip. No signal, no noise, just the real voice. No signal, no games, just my own name. Somewhere that solitude is data, that every quiet moment comes comes back later. That's something you can use in all the noise. I think that's true for men who guard their voice. My grandmother would sit and watch the birds, not filming them, not turning into words, just watching like the watching was enough. I'm learning how to do that kind of stuff. The edit they don't show is the real me. Before the post, the angle and the feed, the moment where I almost didn't go, the doubt and then the choice to take it slow. This is the edit they don't show, the moment before you learn to know who you actually are without the glow of a screen telling you which way to go. No signal, no noise, just the real voice. No signal, no games, just my own name. No signal, and I'm good. I'm good. Amber hours are the ones I keep for real, the ones before the night when things reveal what actually matters after all the noise. The quiet underneath the public voice. I used to rush through evenings like a corridor. Now I stop and notice what the light is for. The way it hits the kitchen wall at 5 makes me grateful I'm specifically alive. Not in a grand way, not a revelation, just a small specific daily confirmation that the day was worth the trouble that I brought, and tomorrow holds the things I haven't thought. Amber hours, amber light, the space between the day and night. Amber hours, amber truth, the feeling I've been chasing since my youth. I don't need a highlight reel or a resume. I need this light through curtains at the end of the day. I need the call from someone who just called to check, not the network reach, not the social flex. My father never talked about his feelings straight, but every Sunday dinner wasn't served late. That was love in the language that he learned. Some things you only understand when earned. I'm in my 30s now and I can feel the weight of what is permanent and real. The friendships that have lasted through the moves, the music that still fits inside my grooves. Amber hours, amber light, the space between the day and night. Amber hours, amber truth, the feeling I've been chasing since my youth. Gets religious at this hour. Every window holds a different kind of power. Somebody cooking dinner, somebody crying, somebody starting over, somebody trying. I am part of all of that invisible. The amber light makes everything permissible to feel without performance or agenda. To just be here, be soft, be something tender. I take a breath and let the evening in. Release the score I've kept to where I've been. The amber hours don't require anything from me, just presence and the willingness to see. Amber hours, amber grace, the light that finds the human face beneath the role, beneath the name, the part of us that stays the same. Amber hours, amber light, the space between the day and night. Amber hours, amber truth, the feeling I've been chasing since my youth. Amber hours, amber hours,
There's a barber on the corner who's been there since '73. He's cut the hair of gangsters, preachers, in the in-between. He knows the neighborhood by scout and by story. The ones who left for college and came back for glory. There's a woman who sells roses from a grocery cart. She knows everybody's name and everybody's broken heart. She prices them on sliding scales, she never told you that. The banker pays for 3 and the school kid gets 1 back. They say the neighborhood is gone, but the neighborhood is in the song. They say the block is dead and cold, but cold is just a story that gets told. Ghost town shuffle, ghost town moves. Everybody living in their private blues. Ghost town shuffle, ghost town grace, beauty hiding in the in-between space. The restaurant changed its name for the 4th time in a year, but old Marcus still comes in for his Tuesday morning beer. The city thinks it's empty when the factories went dark, but there's a whole universe living in this urban park. The kids who fix their bikes under the overpass, the elders playing chess until the daylight passed, the murals that appear like overnight religion, painted by the ones they couldn't give a mission. They say the neighborhood is gone, but the neighborhood is in the song. They say the block is dead and cold, but cold is just a story that gets told. Ghost town shuffle, ghost town moves. Everybody living in their private blues. Oh, ghost town shuffle, ghost town grace, beauty hiding in the in-between space. I walk these blocks at 6 a.m. to catch the morning shift. The diner where the waitress knows your order is a gift. The corner store that's been there through 4 different owners. The church that feeds the block on Friday, nobody knows who donors. This is the documentary they don't make. The beauty in the ordinary, wide awake. The shuffle of a city that refused to disappear. The ghost town that was never gone, it's just that you weren't here. They gentrified the building, not the soul. They renamed streets, but not what makes them whole. The ghost town shuffle never stopped this beat. You just had to know which corner of which street. Yeah. Ghost town shuffle, oh, ghost town moves. Oh, everybody living in their private blues. Oh, ghost town shuffle, oh, ghost town grace, beauty hiding, oh, in the in-between space. Ghost town shuffle, still shuffling, still here, yeah.
Yeah. They paved over everything we built, but pavement cracks. Yeah. Broken pavement under polished shoes. The city changed but kept the same old blues. They gentrified the block, but not the pain. Renamed the streets, but we still know the stains. They put a coffee shop where the clinic used to be. Call it progress, then wonder why we disagree. I watched this neighborhood become a brand, built on the culture of the very people can. They take the aesthetic, lead the people out, then sell the vibe to those who caused the drought. I'm not bitter, I'm just keeping accurate score. Who got thanked and who got Broken pavement, broken dreams. Nothing here is what it really seems. Broken pavement, broken rules. I learned more in streets than I did in school. They want us quiet, want us camera ready. Keep the rage low, keep the image steady. But I'm the crack that splits the perfect road. I carry truth like it's a heavy load. 20 years of watching good men grind to barely make the rent and fall behind. While someone with a podcast talks about hustle from a studio with better square footage. I don't hate success, I hate the selective amnesia that forgets who swept the floor so you could be here. The invisible labor, the unnamed sacrifice that made the culture that you monetize white. Broken pavement, broken dreams. Nothing here is what it really seems. Broken pavement, broken rules. I learned more in streets than I did in schools. But here's the thing about the broken pavement section. It still holds weight, it still demands reflection. The cracks are where the weeds grow through concrete, where something living finds a way to beat the eyes that were designed to keep it still, where stubbornness becomes a kind of skill. I am the pavement and the cracking one, the generation that won't come undone. So write it down and play it for the ones who stayed, who built without a blueprint or a trade. The broken pavement holds the whole city's truth, and every crack a piece of someone's youth. This ain't anger, this is clarity. This ain't noise, this is the real decree. Broken pavement, broken ground, that's where the real foundation's found. Broken pavement, broken dreams. Nothing here is what it really seems. Broken pavement, broken rules. I learned more in streets than I did in schools. Broken pavement, still standing on it. Still standing. Still standing. Static, truth, static, static, yeah, static, static truth cuts through the signal noise. The market bought and sold our public voice. I'm scrolling through the feed, it's all the same face. Authenticity became a marketplace. They optimized the algorithm for the click, made outrage more valuable than the thick. Slow thought, the nuanced gray zone in between. The thing that's real is rarely the thing that's seen. I'm not nostalgic, I'm just paying attention to the gap between the promise and intention, between the brand and what the brand is selling, between the story and the one worth telling.
Static truth, static truth.
Turn the signal down, turn the volume loose.
Static truth, static truth.
We've been searching for the real and the residue. Yeah, they monetized the movement, then they left the people. Made the symbol corporate, made the icon feeble. Took the edge off everything that ever cut through. Now they sell the revolution and the breakthrough. I write for the footnotes, not the headline rotation. For the slow reader in the corner of the station, who holds a thought for more than 14 seconds, whose attention isn't measured by an algorithm's reckoning. The media ecology is broken at the root, when every single platform profits from dispute. So I pull back, go analog, go paper, and write the kind of thing that matters later.
Static truth, static truth.
Turn the signal down, turn the volume loose.
Static truth, static truth.
We've been searching for the real and the residue. So I write it like it's paper, not a post. For the ones who feel it most and boast at least. Who read between the bars and catch the reference? Who value depth of thought above the preference of the algorithm of the trending topic? Who know that viral doesn't mean prophetic? The static isn't failure, it's the signal of something underneath the institutional. The truth that doesn't trend still holds its weight long after the performative debate.
Static truth, static truth.
The real survives the noise when you pursue.
Turn the signal down.
Find the frequency below the crowd.
The static carries truth if you know how.
To listen past the platform in the cloud.
Static truth, static truth.
Turn the signal down, turn the volume loop. Static,
Static truth, static truth.
we've been searching for the real and the residue. Still static. Still truth, still static. Still truth. Yeah. Yeah. Still truth. Yeah. Static. Truth.
Devil's margin. That's the technical term. They wrote the rules in rooms I never entered. They built the maze before I was invented. Devil's margin is what accountants call the profit made from watching people fall. I did the math, it took me 20 years to understand the arithmetic of fears that keeps the cycle running on default, where working harder is the worker's fault. They named it opportunity, they named it meritocracy, they named it freedom, but they kept the recipe locked up behind a door that needs a certain kind of key that gets inherited, not earned in this economy. Devil's margin, devil's math. Follow money, find the aftermath. Devil's margin, devil's game. I put real names to things with no name. I'm not the villain in the story they're projecting. I'm the footnote that the narrative keeps neglecting. The thing about the truth is it don't trend, but it's still there waiting at the end. They gamified the labor, called it flexibility, removed the floor and sold it as mobility. The gig economy is just old sharecropping with better branding and a smoother top coating. I say these things not from a place of hatred, but from the records that have been understated. The data that they fund, the studies that they buried, the think tanks on the payroll, you should be wary. Devil's margin, devil's math. Follow money, find the aftermath. Devil's margin, devil's game. I put real names to things with no name. Devil's in the details, and the details of the clause. The fine print of the system is the system of the laws. They govern who gets credit and who holds the deed, who builds the house they never get to live in guaranteed. I'm not preaching revolution, I'm just reading what is written in the annual report of every system that is bitten. The hand that fed it longest, the back that held it strongest, the ones who built the whole thing and got buried in the process. I don't need permission to exist. I don't need validation to persist. I don't need the platform or the gate. I carry my own weight. Devil's margin, devil's math. Follow money, find the aftermath. Devil's margin, devil's game. I put real names to things with no name. Devil's margin. I don't play that. I don't play that.
This is not a sermon. This is a survival song. Yeah. Concrete gospel preached on every corner by the ones they never put a name or border. The woman who raised 4 kids and held the block together, who made $1 stretch across the coldest weather. The man who fixed bikes under the underpass for free, who never had a sponsor, never had a fee. The coach who ran the practice in the parking lot with no facility, no funding, and a whole lot of kids who needed somewhere to be seen, who needed someone who knew what they'd been through. The concrete gospel isn't in the building, it's in the daily choice of rebuilding.
Concrete gospel.
Come.
Concrete truth.
What they built with nothing
Is the living proof. Concrete gospel. Concrete grace.
you find the sacred.
In the everyday place.
Yeah, no. They don't get the interview, they get the statistic. They built the whole cathedral but weren't on the guest list. Their gospel is in Tuesday morning, rising and finding beauty without monetizing. The neighbor who brings food without announcement. The elder who gives counsel without pronouncement. The teenager who translates at the clinic for the family who can't navigate the system. The invisible infrastructure of caring that holds the city up beyond comparing. The concrete gospel isn't about glory, it's just people choosing to continue the story.
Concrete gospel. Concrete truth.
What they built with nothing
Is the living proof. Concrete gospel. Concrete grace.
you find the sacred.
In the everyday place.
I wanna name them, but they'd be embarrassed. They didn't do it for the recognition garnish. They did it because someone did it for them. Because the chain of care needs someone to stem the tide of isolation and forgetting the slow erosion of the human setting that happens when the market is the only value, when transactions replace what people owe you. So this is just a record, this is just a note from someone paying attention to the quote, the unquoted life, the uncredited labor, the concrete gospel of the everyday neighbor.
Their names are not on buildings,
But the buildings stand because of them.
their names are not in history.
But history was made by them.
Concrete gospel. Concrete truth.
What they built with nothing
Is the living proof. Concrete gospel. Concrete grace.
you find the sacred.
In the everyday place. Concrete gospel.
That's the real thing. That's the real thing. They handed me a crown made out of paper. I wore it in the rain. They handed me a paper crown and called it opportunity. I wore it till it rained and felt the fragility of everything they said would make me whole. The crown disintegrated, but I found my soul. I spent my 20s building someone else's vision of what a person like me was supposed to be in. The framework that they handed me at orientation, the metrics of success, the definition of the station that someone like me ought to occupy. I followed it until I wondered why the crown was getting heavier and thinner, and every year I felt less like a winner. I don't want the version of success they're selling. I want the truth that no algorithm is telling. Paper crown, paper throne, everything they gave me wasn't mine to own. Paper crown, paper game, I threw it all away and found my name. Yeah. The hierarchy was fiction, I believed at 22. Now I see the man behind the throne as lost as you. The ones who seem to have it most together are wearing paper crowns against the weather. The leaderboard, the rankings and the tears, the comparison that multiplies your fears. I burned the leaderboard, I kept the lessons. lessons. What's left when you subtract the false progressions? My work was never in the title or the bracket, the salary, the bonus, or the status jacket. I am more specific than that framework held. Our own human in the system under spell. I don't want the version of success they're selling. I want the truth that no algorithm is telling. Paper crown, paper throne. Everything they gave me wasn't mine to own. Paper crown, paper game. I threw it all away and found my name. I watch my kids and think about the crowns I'll give them, the ones made out of something that will actually live them. Through the years of being told they're not enough, through every system built to call their bluff, I wanna give them crowns made out of knowing who they are when nobody is showing up. To grade them, rank them, file or sort them, a crown of self that no one can abort them. From wearing in the rain on the hard days, when the paper version's gone and the real stays, I threw away the paper, kept the person that underneath the titles wasn't worsened. This is not rebellion, this is just honesty about what was real and what was never mine to be. Paper crown, paper throne. Everything they gave me wasn't mine to own. Paper crown, paper game. I threw it all away and found my name. Paper crown, paper rain. Real gold stays, real gold stays. Paper crown, paper rain.
Slow burn, everything that matters comes in slow. The quick wins barely leave a glow. I spent my 20s chasing the horizon line. Now I just watch the way the afternoon light shines through the window of a life that's mine. Not perfect, but specifically mine. I used to think that speed was proof of seriousness. Now I understand the power of the wilderness, of taking longer than expected with the thing, of letting the decision breathe before you bring it to the table, let it show its full dimension. Slow burn is just another word for real intention. Slow burn, slow burn. Some lessons take a lifetime to earn. Slow burn, slow burn. That's how the real things turn.
My grandfather would sit and watch the rain, not bored, not waiting, just at peace with pain.
There's wisdom in the stillness of a man who knows he did the best a person can, and let the rest be weather, let it pass without the need to capture it or class among his wins or losses for the year. He just would sit and let the rain be here. I'm learning how to do that kind of sitting, to be present without fixing or quitting the day of all its imperfections and its weather. Slow burn is how you hold a life together. Slow burn, slow burn. Some lessons take a lifetime to earn. Slow burn, slow burn. That's how the real things turn. going cold without resentment. The conversation held without agenda. The book that takes 3 months instead of 7. The friendship that was built across 11 years of small deposits, small appearances. The slow accumulation of sincerity is worth more than the sprint, the launch, the moment, the highlight that you showed them that you owned it. I'm done competing with the speed of others. I move at the pace of seasons, not a hustler. Slow burn until the thing becomes the truth, not the manufactured version, not the proof that I am keeping up with someone's timeline. Slow burn at the pace of what is mine. Slow burn, slow burn, slow burn, slow burn. The patient fire is the one that lasts. Slow burn, slow burn, slow burn, slow burn. Let the good things take the time they ask. Slow burn, slow burn. Some lessons take a lifetime to earn. Slow burn, slow burn. That's how the real things turn. Slow burn, yeah. That's it. That's it.
It's 3 a.m. again. The coffee's cold. The city's still talking. But I stopped listening. Notebook open on a Tuesday. Page still blank, but it's okay. Some nights the writing is the sitting. Some nights presence is the giving. Just me in the night. Just me in the rain. Nowhere to be. Nowhere to explain. The coffee never stays warm. The night always ends. 3 a.m. is its own kind of friend. Just rain, just glass, just now, just this. Staying in tonight, the rain decides for me. No agenda, no arrival, just the sound of being free. B. Track 4. This is the one that stays. Fade to vinyl, fade to warm. Everything dissolves back into form. The needle finds the groove again, and all the night was not in vain. I used to think I needed answers. Now I just need the record to keep spinning. The vinyl doesn't judge, it just holds the sound. Fade to vinyl, fade to warm. Everything returns.
The rust don't lie. The rust don't lie. My daddy worked a mill 37 years. They shut it down and gave him 37 beers. His hands like maps of everything he gave. Now I rap his eulogy, not stand at his grave. He never once complained about the hours, about the heat, the noise, the broken showers, about the year they cut the health insurance, about the pension stolen with assurance that it would be okay, it would be handled, that all those years of work would not be canceled. The rust don't lie, my father's hands don't lie. Some troops live in the body, not the sky. Rust Belt blues, ain't got nothing left to lose. Rust Belt blues, these are the things they never use on the news. Yeah, I write about the empty parking lots, the diners that became the awesome nights, the kids who left and kids who stayed behind, the different kind of broken in the mind. The staying and the going both cost something, watching everything you built mean nothing, to the quarterly report, to the decision that gets made in boardrooms with precision, about places they have never been, by people who have never seen. A man come home great with dust and pride, both living in them side by side. Rust Belt blues, ain't got nothing left to lose. Rust Belt blues, these are the things they never use on the news. his hand still reaching for the work somehow. The muscle memory of 37 years doesn't know what unemployment means. I visit on the weekends, bring the groceries. He asks about my music awkwardly. He doesn't understand the rap part much, but he recognizes the blues, the heavy touch. The part that sounds like something true and earned, not manufactured, something actually burned. From real experience, from real cost, from knowing what was built and what was lost. The rust don't lie, no it don't. The truth lives in the body when the words are gone. Rust don't lie, no it don't. Some legacies are carried, not just sung about. Rust Belt Blues ain't got nothing left to lose. Rust Belt Blues, these are the things they never use on the news. Rust don't lie, no it don't. My father's hands don't lie. Nicotine mind always needs another hit, a validation drama or a miserable fit. I quit the cigarettes but kept the habit structure, replaced one hunger with another rupture. The scroll, the refresh, the waiting for the number, the notification pulling me from slumber. I traded smoke for pixels, traded tar for data, and called it growth and called it something greater. Addiction is the shape, not just the substance. The craving for the craving is the function. I recognize the pattern years too late. The nicotine mind just found a different gate. Nicotine mind, nicotine soul. Chasing something keeps you from being whole. Nicotine mind, nicotine truth. I've been running since I lost my youth. The guitar understands what I can't explain. The bend between the notes is where I live my pain. They say addiction is a choice, I never made one. It chose me like a song that can't be undone. My father's father smoked until the very end. He said it was the only constant faithful friend. I understand that now in ways I didn't. The thing that holds you is the thing that's hidden beneath the surface of the daily choosing. It's the fear of stopping and of losing, the ritual, the structure, and the feeling that something is reliably appealing. Nicotine mind, nicotine soul. Chasing something keeps you from being whole. Nicotine mind, nicotine truth. I've been running since I lost my youth. I've been sober from the smoke for 7 years. Still reach for where the pack will be when fear appears. The hand remembers even when the mind forgets. The body holds the habit as a safety net. They say just put it down like it was only weight, like all
all the years of reaching have a simple fate of choosing different in the critical moment. Like freedom is a switch without a component of grief or loss or mourning what it gave you. The ritual, the pause, the thing that saved you in some small way from something worse inside. The nicotine mind is complicated pride. Still breathing, still here. Still reaching, still clear. Still running, still near to something like freedom year by year. Nicotine mind, nicotine soul. Chasing something keeps you from being whole. Nicotine mind, nicotine truth. I've been running since I lost my youth. Still breathing, still here. Old wounds don't heal, they just get quieter. The scar tissue just makes the skin feel tighter. I still reach for the phone of people gone. I still write songs for people who moved on to wherever people go when they go away. Whether to another city or another state of being, I still draft the text and don't send it. I still save the number though the contract's ended. Grief is not a season, it's a residency. It sets up in the building of your frequency and plays the same few records in rotation, a familiar soundtrack of relation. Old wounds, old names, old fire, different flames. Old wounds, old truth. I'm still becoming, while becoming who? My father never said he loved me in those words. He showed it in ways that go unheard. In engine oil and 6 a.m. alarms, and teaching me to use my hands, not charms, and sitting through my silences without fixing them. The small repairs around our houses, hymns. I understood it all too late or just in time, depending on how much grace you assign. To the men who were not given the vocabulary for the interior, the tender, the necessary confession of affection and connection. They showed it through protection and direction. Old wounds, old names, old fire, different flames. Old wounds, old truth. I'm still becoming, while becoming who? Carry wounds from people who meant well, whose love was complicated, hard to tell from its opposite in the moment of receiving, but landed as the realest thing on leaving. Some love is only legible in retrospect, when distance gives you vision and context. My mother's worry that I called controlling was just fear expressed in the only language she was holding. Old wounds, old names, I'm not releasing, just understanding the account and the reprising of what was given versus what was needed, and finding grace for both now that I'm seated far enough away to see the picture. I don't have a resolution for
this one. I just have the song, and the song is enough. And the people who are gone are in the song, and the song goes on. Old names, old fire, different flames, old wounds, I'm still becoming. Old wounds, still healing, still healing, still.
Midnight remedy is just the morning promising to come. The body after the hardest part, finding its way back to numb. Not numb like nothing, numb like enough, like the nervous system saying okay. That was enough. Every difficult night has ended. That's the only date I have, but it's enough. The remedy isn't the absence of pain, it's the presence after. It's being here, still being here. It gets lighter, it gets lighter. I know because it always has.
Yeah. Yeah. Last call for everything I thought I needed. The crowd is thin and most of the noise receded. What's left is what was always meant to stay. The real things don't get called for last call anyway. I've been in bars like this for longer than I should. Sat with people I could talk to and with those I never could. There's something in the closing time that strips the filter away. The hour when the honest things have nowhere else to stay. The bouncer at the door of my own history is someone I don't recognize, but speaks specifically to what I've kept and what I've let go in the years. The losses and the laughter and the unremarkable fears. Last call, last light. The truest thing is what survives the night. Last call, last word. The quiet after is the thing most heard. I made this for the ones who listened past the trend, who stayed until the bar lights dimmed, and then who found something in the space between the beats, who know that real music lives in incomplete. The ones who let a song sit with them for more than 40 seconds, whose attention isn't currency, whose presence isn't reckoned by the metrics of the moment or the numbers on a screen, who sat with something hard and knew exactly what it means to carry it for days without resolution, to live inside the question, not the solution. This is for them, the ones who stayed until last call, who understand that sometimes staying is the thing most tall. Last call, last light. The truest thing is what survives the night. Last call, last word. The quiet after is the thing most heard. Yeah. I don't know what this city will be in 20 years. I know the people who are building it through ordinary years of showing up, of choosing this, of staying when it's hard, of keeping the light on and keeping down the guard long enough to let someone in, long enough to care about a place, a block, a neighbor, an address somewhere that matters more than where the algorithm sends you, that holds you when the feed no longer tends to. I'll take last call over the opening every time. The truth lives in the residue, the bottom of the wine, the song that's left when everyone is gone, the real thing that was there the whole time all along. Good night to the noise, good night to the performance, good night to the version of myself I wore for other people's comfort. What's left is what was always here. What stays is what was always